Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220 KHTS. Host Fred Arnold, and I want to talk about this, the power of your potential with Alex Urbina. Welcome back, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
The last segment we talked about playing not to lose, and a lot of people play in that safe space. I want to talk about this segment on playing to win, throwing it out there every day and playing to win. What does playing to win mean to you?
Well, for me, playing to win means that you work on yourself to the point where you clear out all the negativity in your mind, and you're operating from obviously a win-win. I want to win, you want to win. Let's figure out how to create that win-win rather than win-lose. A lot of times, we've been taught since we were little that there's one winner and there's one loser. Well, there's a whole new world of possibilities to have win-win in different scenarios. So for me, it's a whole bunch of different things, but it's more of a frame of mind that I'm going to win no matter what. But you don't want the no matter what where you're hurting people. You don't want the no matter what where other people are hurting and people. Right. You want to do it in a powerful, positive, healthy way. It doesn't have to look like I'm winning and everyone's losing.
So one of the challenges I've run into being pretty optimistic in my life is when you're moving forward, people not feeling like they're a part of it because they're playing not to win or they're playing not to lose. So they're playing in a space over here. How do you make them a part of it so they can get over their insecurities? How do you enroll them to be a part of that?
Well, for one is you have to model it. You have to be modeling playing to win, and then you have to be a great invitation. You have to keep inviting people to step up to playing to play to win. And the way that you do that is you explain to them what you're choosing and why you're choosing it, and you got to share some of your perspective. You got to sit down with people and go, look, from the way I see it, this is why I'm choosing what I'm choosing, and from the way I see it, this is what looks like you're choosing where you're choosing from, and let's have a discussion about it. And they get to look at themselves and go, yeah, I am choosing that, and this is why. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, when we're playing not to lose, we're operating from fear. A lot of the fear is getting in the way. We're letting that creep in and kind of taint some of the choices we're making and cloud our perspectives.
To be open then when you're having a conversation to enroll somebody, asking them what their fears are, is that appropriate? Or asking them what concerns they have about looking at an outcome or a situation to be different?
It depends on the kind of relationship you have with them. If it's more of they trust you and you're their mentor, their coach, their advisor, they look up to you, then you can have that kind of conversation and it's open. They feel safe enough to share that or reveal that to you. If you haven't developed that yet, it can very easily be interpreted on their end that you're making them feel bad and wrong. You're making them look at something that they don't want to look at. Mm-hmm. So it's a very delicate, process, and it depends on your role with them, your kind of relationship.
Now, one of the things, and that goes into this topic that I do want to touch upon is feedback. When we went to our retreat, Alex asked everyone to stand in the middle of the room and ask permission to give feedback. Encouraging feedback and praise. Let's talk about feedback and how to approach that with the average person who's not conscious and maybe a little bit uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, feedback for the unconscious person sees it as you're pointing out their flaws and their insecurities, and they can very easily see that as like a diss, like you're disrespecting them, you're judging them. From the conscious perspective, and the conscious leader sees that absolutely 100% as a gift, because they're seeing that you can see something that they can't, and you're sharing your observation with them. It's like walking around the office with toilet paper hanging from the back of your pants, and no one has the courage to tell you, "Hey, buddy, you got to clean."
Or something stuck on your face.
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone's just awkward.
Yeah. So competent leaders, they love feedback because they're able to separate, themselves from the feedback. And they're very grateful to go, hey, I appreciate you sharing that with me. That means a lot to me. Whether they agree with it or not, it's just feedback. It's just they can choose to see from their perspective is just your point of view. And then they also honor everyone's point of view. Everyone's point of view is important because you could share something with me that I might not be willing to see.
And the most important thing is when someone gives you feedback, it doesn't define who you are.
Absolutely not.
It's just someone's opinion.
It's someone else's point of view, opinion, their thoughts, the way they experience you, and it doesn't necessarily mean that's who you are. But if the feedback is consistent with a lot of people, there's that saying, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's got feathers like a duck, then it must be a duck.
Yeah.
So if you're getting constant feedback of people telling you, hey, you're stubborn all the time, and then your mom's telling you you're stubborn, and everyone, then at a certain point you gotta go, man, maybe I am stubborn. And that's that great illusion a lot of times that we live in, where we don't want to really look at some of those things, we ignore it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Once I learned to ask my children more powerful questions, or let them enroll them to be a part of the solution, I got much different answers. And so that was eye-opening for me on a different perspective. And it was through my coaching with you that I was able to do that. I do want to touch upon one last thing, and that is some of my greatest breakthroughs have been the most uncomfortable feedback I've received, but it was only uncomfortable for a short period of time. But the gift I got from it is for a lifetime.
Yeah. And it's funny because you handle it well. Sometimes I'll say something and I'll toss it out, and then I can see the quiet uncomfortableness. But see, that's where the juice is for me, because I see myself when I was being coached and mentored, and I still have my coaches and my mentors that give me tough feedback, and I want it. Yep. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to be excited about it. You know what I mean? We're gonna. It's like it's a gut check, but it's a good one, because you walk away driving going, and then you learn to love those people even more, because they're willing to say that to you in a loving way. And it's kind of like, it's a gift.
Yeah, it is a gift. So and you're on Fridays?
Friday at noon, every Friday, with my daughter, my conscious dad. We're always talking about our relationship, how to get it to the next level, owning up from our responsibility of what we need from each other, and very powerful conversation.
Now you have a workshop coming up?
I do have one coming up called Extraordinary Relationships. It's an advanced training for mindful people that really want to work on themselves. So, if you're excited about working on yourself and you're open-minded, you want to come in and really learn and grow and learn some distinctions to take your relationship to a whole nother level, we're going to be there. A bunch of us, powerful group of people committed to doing work on ourselves. I'm excited because I learn and I grow every time too. There's some amazing people that get to share, and we get to learn from each other. What would you like to be a part of a network or a group of people that are just in a room, just working on themselves and sharing some golden gems with you that you will never get in a lifetime?
Love it. And I'm going to be there.
Oh, sounds good. I love
Excited.
it. Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed this segment on Playing to Win with Alex Urbina. We're going to jump to a quick break on AM 1220 KHTS and be right back.